and she like climbs over the drums and starts to like wrestle me on the ground. And we're like rolling around on the ground. And as we're rolling around, there's glitter just like coming out everywhere. We're glitter bombing the audience like total assholes.
Hi everyone, welcome to They Had Fun. I'm Rachel and I am back with another amazing story about New York City. But up first are my two Rachel's Recs for you. Those are my personal New York City recommendations for you to go have some fun of your own this week. Then we're going to hear from my guests. So let's go ahead and get started with my Recs. All right, if you're new here, typically these are like bars, restaurants, art shows you can go see. But I also just always have to bring what I am loving in New York, as you guys know. And I was getting my weekly chair massage, as I do as a stressed out New Yorker. And I was like, I got a new spot. I got to bring it to the people. So I thought I would recommend my newest go-to chair massage and also my forever go-to nail salon. This is kind of like a 2-for-1 nail salon thing. Okay, so first up, as you know, like years ago when the podcast first started, I recommended a spot. They closed down. Then I got a hot tip from someone about a new spot for a chair massage in Chelsea, and I was feeling that for a while. But now I have a new one that I'm loving. Now, the background behind all of this is nowhere outside of New York has all these chair massages, and I do not understand it because you can seriously get one every 2 blocks at every nail salon. I think it's because New Yorkers are so stressed out and so anxious and they're constantly carrying so much stress. I don't know, but I thoroughly enjoy a 10 to 15 minute chair massage, and so do all of my friends and everyone I talk to. Okay, so first up is my newest spot. It's called Golden Tree Nails. Now, this is on 3rd Avenue, right at 15th Street. So proximity location is very good for me because I'm always popping in there before I jump on the L train. But honestly, anywhere kind of approaching 10, 15 block radius, I genuinely believe it is worth your time. Never got my nails done there. I feel like that's an important part. I'm truly just going there to get a chair massage. And my newest person that I'm obsessed with, her name is Sugar, and she is going to town on you. Here's my thing. Like, I love getting regular massages too, but it takes up so much of your time and they're so expensive. And this is like, you pop in, it's like 20, 30 bucks later. You are feeling some relief. I'm sure that maybe like true massage therapists would not recommend something like this, but I love it. If you are a tight New Yorker who carries everything in your shoulders like me, Golden Tree Nails on 3rd Avenue, ask for Sugar. Seriously, I don't know. Maybe everyone else is really good too, but this woman, Sugar, she's been giving it to me and I'm loving it. You guys, I'm so ridiculous. I bring you the things that I'm truly enjoying. Okay, in that light, if you do actually want to get your nails done and you want to go to a salon and get a manicure, pedicure, when I tell you PH7 in Williamsburg has been my nail salon for, I'm not even joking, 14 years, 15 years, I'd have to go back and look. I got my wedding nails done there. I have brought family members there. I have brought my niece there. Friends of mine go there. I have referred everyone to this salon. And the reason I'm finally telling you about it is I've always loved it and I haven't kept that a secret. But they have just moved to their brand spanking new, sparkly, beautiful location on Berry Street. It's so nice. Now, the other one was always like good. It's kind of like an elevated experience a little bit, but it's not super expensive. But this one is wonderful. I went a few weeks ago when my girlfriends were visiting. I just love it. Now I have a set person I go to. She's my go-to, but I don't know. Try out a bunch of different people, see who's best for you. But there's so much attention to detail there. They do cool nail design if that's your thing. They, of course, do chair massages. I always get one when I'm getting my pedicure. But everyone's so talented. I just love this space. It's clean. It's beautiful. It's bright. It's stylish. I love PH7. And I mean, I love the Williamsburg one. It's close to me, and that's the location I've always gone to. They have a bunch of locations. I think that they have a Fort Greene, Carroll Gardens, Upper East Side. It's a local New York thing. It's not a chain. But if you want to go to a new neighborhood, I have been into the Upper East Side one. I love that one. I've been to the Fort Greene one. Also love that one. PH7, my go-to nail salon forever. So depending if you just want to like work out some stress in 10 minutes or if you want to luxuriate for like a full hour and get those calluses removed, whatever you want. Golden Tree Nails, PH7. I'm sorry, guys. Next week I will have a bar for you or some fabulous martini. If you're new here, it's not always nail salon Rex. But I got to tell you what I love. All right, that's enough from me. Let's go ahead and get into my guest for today. I am obsessed with her title. This is so important to me to have someone like this on the show because she is the founder and operator of the Footlight Presents. They do emerging arts programming. And when I asked her about doing this intro and I said, "Oh, you know, how often do you guys do stuff?" She said, nightly. They've been around since 2016. And if you hear more about their programming during this episode today and you want to find ways to support them, Lucky you. I've got a few ways you can do that. I'm going to link them all in the show notes. You can support their programming by becoming a monthly sustaining member for only $5 a month. You can also buy their merchandise. They're doing a sale of 15% off just for the They Had Fun listeners. And lastly, if you want to help them kick off Pride Month, you can join their Pride Cabaret this Sunday, June 1st at 7 p.m. All of their programming, including the Pride Month kickoff, can be seen at the Windjammer in Ridgewood, Queens. Please welcome to the show the woman that is bringing you all of this and more, Laura Regan.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. Oh, we're just two giddy girls over here on a beautiful day in New York City. Welcome to my show, Laura. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh. Of course. I mean, to be honest, you're in my crew in a way. We don't know each other. We've never met, but then we know 20 people in common. And you work with a previous guest. I don't know if work with is maybe the right terminology there, but you do things with the person who has been on our show before. Actually, a crowd favorite episode, Jesse Ballgame, owner of the Windjammer. Speaking of the Windjammer, that might bring us in perfectly for you to talk a little bit about the Footlight Presents. Do you want to tell our listeners what you guys do?
Yeah. So we used to have a location in Ridgewood on 465 Seneca Avenue. And then post-pandemic, we moved our venue operations into the Windjammer for a multitude of reasons. The main reason being that building was extremely problematic and difficult to operate in.
Sounds like New York.
I mean, we walked in the middle of the pandemic, not able to operate because, pandemic restrictions, and we were going to start doing live streaming. And we walked into the bar. We hadn't been in there for a couple of weeks, and the ceiling had caved in, like right over the stage. Luckily, like all of our gear and stuff, we were able to salvage, and, we just basically picked it all up. I talked to Jesse, who, has been my friend for a while, and I knew he had that back room in the Windjammer, and I knew he didn't love booking it. It wasn't his favorite thing to do. So I was like, hey, man, why don't I do that? And then you don't have to worry about it anymore. I can put all my nice venue gear and acoustic treatment back there and like make it into like a real venue space. So that's what we did in 2021. We opened up the Footlight Presents, which is our little tiny venue space in the back room of the Windjammer. And honestly, like it works better for our overall mission, which was always to support emerging artists. It's a way better vibe for like what we were going for. And aside from all the music shows that we do, we have a lot of other weird programming. I love weird stuff.
Me too.
And I fully believe in keeping New York weird
as
much as possible. So I'm always looking for like clown stuff, like clowning open mics and improv open mics. And we have an Anything Goes open mic every Monday that I run with my husband. We just pray every Monday, like let something really weird happen. One time, my best friend like tap danced while eating a pint of ice cream. That's one of our favorite stories. There was a time where like my bandmate just like changed his bike tire on stage for 6 minutes.
Performance. There's so much about this that I love. How it all started. The New Yorkers coming together, and it's just like a match made in heaven. Jesse being like, you take this off my plate. You like, I got stuff to bring to the plate. He's so great. You're so great. But really supporting emerging artists in New York City. There is an art scene that we need to keep alive and well and going right here in New York. And also, bring on the weird shit. And there needs to be spaces for artists to try something out. And you're supposed to be in those rooms sometimes, and it can fail miserably and you can feel weird. And like that is supposed to happen. I mean, to be honest, I'm not going to name names, but I did see a show recently where not everyone in the group loved it. And we all were like, you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Because they need to try this out. And we need to see it. And we need to be there for them. So yes, I love that there is a space for people to go do emerging new art in New York City, whatever that is, even if it's changing a bike tire, like you said. So thank you so much for providing that space for them.
You're welcome. And I've seen some shit,
If you're listening to this and you want to see some shit, go check out the Footlight Presents at the Windjammer. Okay, we talked about the amazing contributions you're making in New York and your work, and we like to talk about the fun here. So let's go ahead and get into it. First up, when did you move to New York?
I moved to New York. Actually, we're coming up on my anniversary. It is May of 2009. So I have been here for 16 years as of this month.
Wow.
I wish I could tell you the day, but like it was such a chaotic time in my life. There is no way I could pinpoint one day.
That's okay. We've got the month. We've got the month. That's all right.
I probably came to New York back and forth for the first like 6 months of 2009, like 100 times.
Oh my gosh.
I rode the Chinatown bus 100 times in 2009. I know that.
Wait, I have so many questions. But you actually moved here. The day that you were like, I'm moving here, did you ride the Chinatown bus?
No,
Okay.
I did not.
What was the day like when you arrived?
Okay, so after like a very chaotic few months in my life, I'm not like an astrology person per se. I'm a little bit of a woo-woo person. So I was experiencing my Saturn return.
Oh, all right.
And if you know what a Saturn return, you should look it up because it happens to everyone. I was 27 years old. Everything in my life was chaos. And I was trying to figure out how to move to New York. I was coming here like every weekend, trying to find a place to live, trying to find a job. And eventually, the job that I had in Boston, my employer was like, just go there. Just go move there. Stop this back and forth stuff.
Yeah.
So I ended up just happened to work out that my friend Paul, who was in this great band, This Car Up, he had this big band van, like a passenger van, like a 15-person passenger van. And he had to drive it to Virginia to get re-registered because it was registered in Virginia. So he was driving from Boston to New York. And I just was like, hey, Paul, how about we load all of my worldly possessions into your van while you take this drive?
Can I put my shit in here?
And so he's like, sure. So we pile all my possessions into Paul's van. I put my cat in a box and we drove for 6 hours, mostly in traffic, to New York with my cat in a box on my lap and me mostly crying. Because like
Why were you crying?
it was a very chaotic time in my
Oh, because
life.
Saturn was in return.
Saturn was in return.
What good chance that this person was driving right through New York City and had like a giant back, and you're like, I'm going to do it. I love this coming to New York story.
We loaded all my stuff into storage, into like Manhattan mini storage somewhere in Brooklyn, I think. And then he drops me off in Crown Heights at my 2-week temporary sublet. And I just had to figure it out, you know? And so he drives away. I put my cat in the apartment. I drop my bags and I immediately go back out to the Bowery Poetry Club open mic.
Oh my God.
It was the very first thing I ever did in New York City living here. And I was just so excited. I was like, I'm here. I'm finally here. Like I've wanted this for so long. I just like want to go out immediately and experience the city.
What an arrival to New York story. I mean, honestly, when I ask this question, these are the type of things I'm hoping for. Like you have the details, you have the vehicle you arrived in, you have a 2-week sublet to figure it out. I've been there before. You have an event you went to that night, even though you probably should have been looking for somewhere to live or something. You were out doing an event. I love that. It just so perfectly leads me to what I would ask you if we were sitting at a bar together. Why did you move here? Why did you move to New York?
So back to the Saturn return.
Oh, thank you. Please. Thank you.
So I was 27 when I moved here. And, you know, I grew up in Boston. I studied music. I went to Berklee College of Music. Always kind of felt like I was stuck, like I was kind of running in place forever. And, you know, was never really getting to where I wanted to go, never really felt like my true authentic self. And, you know, I was in a relationship for a long time, like 4.5 years. And that relationship ended. Well, I ended it because I was experiencing my Saturn return and everything in my life fell apart like almost immediately. Everything in my life was different. I lived in New York. I had a new job. It was like so crazy, like how much change happened. And almost immediately I started to feel I was in the right place at the right time. I'd never felt that way before until I lived here and was like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to be doing. In that 2-week span of like chaos where I was trying to like land a place to live and everything, I got a job at Burger Heaven on 63rd and Lex as a waitress and found a place to live in like a loft in the Pratt area. But I moved here to do music and to just like really be the person I wanted to be, but never felt like I could be in my hometown.
Wow. I mean, it's a narrative that we've heard before on the show for whatever the reason is for that person. But I love hearing it through your lens and what it meant for you and what you were going through, and that you got somewhere and you just felt like it isn't the first thing that comes to top of mind for people when they think about New York is like suddenly everything made sense and everything worked. Like actually, most people are kind of like nothing works here, and I love hearing that your life kind of started to work for you and you became yourself and suddenly things made sense. I mean, I think that's one of the big reasons why a lot of people want to move to New York. I mean, we're here now, like what, 16 years later, and you're running a show for people to eat pints of ice cream while they tap dance. Like, amazing. It's still working. And of course, there's the tidbits about the apartment and the job and all of that. And like, we've all had those, and you live to tell it, and you're still here in New York doing cool shit.
Yes. Very much so.
All right. Considering that you did do it, you have succeeded, you are who you are because of New York, why don't I go ahead and ask you the most important question of the show? And that is, of course, Laura, what is the most fun you've ever had in New York City?
Okay. The most fun I've ever had in New York City was the night that my band broke up.
Spoiler!
During my bachelorette party.
What? Oh my God, I'm so excited. What's going to happen here?
Okay, so I've had a few musical projects, one of which was Bridget and the Squares, which was my very more serious project. Imagine Dresden Dolls, but without all the cabaret.
Okay, got it.
Piano, drums, rock duo. I think it was around 2011 or so. I started another band with my best friend, Lauren. We were coming home from Boston on a Chinatown bus, super drunk and hungover.
Naturally.
And I just turned to her and said, Lauren, my booze eyes are on fire. And thus Hot Mess was born. And we started writing songs on that bus, and we had this whole band, and it was so much fun. We loved playing together. I never wanted this band to break up, ever. The reason the band broke up is because Lauren moved to Berlin, and I could not do that band anymore without Lauren. So fast forward to it's my bachelorette party.
What year is the bachelorette party happening?
We have the bachelorette party in June of 2017 because she's moving to Berlin and I'm getting married in September or whatever.
Got it.
So we decided to have this bachelorette party and do the event that I had already planned and combine it all together. We start the night at Pumps for happy hour.
You gotta.
I know you have a list of good happy hours. Gotta put Pumps on there. You're gonna sell you like shelf liquor for like $5.
I have never been there for happy hour. I'm always there at a little bit later of an hour. But okay, happy hour at Pumps. That's where we're starting out.
Happy hour at Pumps.
I guess I should say, like, obviously we know what it is, and maybe people listen, but I just would like to clarify that Pumps is a strip club in Bushwick. Or is that Williamsburg?
It's right on the border of East Williamsburg Industrial Park.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So we're having the happy hour there.
Okay, so we're having happy hour at Pumps. I get pretty toasted already at happy hour. Costume change somewhere in the car on the way to now Footlight, because now we're going to Footlight because we're going to have the part of the night that I planned accidentally ruining my bachelorette party. But what I planned was a talk about feminism through Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which was presented by this incredible professor, Jamie Warren. And so I made my friends, who were all pretty drunk already, sit through a talk about feminism.
A lecture series. Yeah.
And then Hot Mess played after, and we had like stuffed glitter in our clothes and planned this whole thing where we would break up on stage because Lauren was moving and we're not going to be a band anymore.
Okay.
We planned this whole thing, but it came out very organically. So like we were playing the songs, whatever, and we were having a great time. We're all a little drunk at this point. But then I messed something up, like on purpose, and Lauren gets mad, and she like climbs over the drums and starts to like wrestle me on the ground, and we're like rolling around on the ground, and as we're rolling around, there's glitter just like coming out everywhere. We're glitter bombing the audience like total assholes, giant hunks of confetti glitter just everywhere, and then we just ended up on a pile of giggles on the floor. And then after that, I think we go to food. I don't remember.
like just some sort of food in general.
Some food happened. There had to have been, otherwise I would have died.
I want to go back to the glitter fight. Is the crowd like, oh my God, they're breaking up? Or like, did everyone kind of know? Like
At that point, I think everyone kind of figured it out that we had staged it.
But those first 30 seconds, people were so worried.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
So then you go and you get food.
A food. I don't remember what it was. It might have been Mexican. I don't know. But then we go to karaoke.
Where is it?
It's in Ridgewood.
Oh.
Everything's in Ridgewood.
I was going to say, okay, you stayed over here. Okay, got it.
Yeah. We stayed in one area. But then we go to karaoke. A costume change again, by the way. I had like 3 costume changes in the entire night of my bachelorette party.
Beautiful.
I had friends come in from out of town for this. They had no idea what they were signing up for.
Yes, I love it.
This was like 10 hours later. We're like closing out the karaoke bar. And one of my high school best friends walks me home, and we're like singing in the street. I'm covered in glitter. Yeah. I'm barely coherent at this point, but just like not even drunk anymore, but like drunk on life. I was just like so happy. And as we're walking down the street going back to my house, my soon-to-be husband appears and like helps Jess get me the rest of the way home.
Like out of nowhere? Was this planned?
Yes. He just assumed that we were probably on our way home at that point. Yeah. And like caught us in the middle of the street, and we like walked the rest of the way home. And then the next day we did have brunch at my friend's restaurant, Julia's, which I was so hungover for, but like we were all just like basking in the glow of like what a wonderful, silly, fun night that we had. Still covered in glitter. Everyone was covered in glitter. And I got to have all my friends there. Aww. And they got to experience my neighborhood, and they got to patronize my friends' businesses. It was just really sweet. It was great. It was so fun.
It's really, really, really fun. I mean, if you're starting off at a happy hour at Pumps, I think, you know, we're getting on a good train and we're riding that one out. I love so many parts of this story. It's obviously just fucking fun. It is the definition of fun. But I love that you have like your friends. I love we have a stage band breakup. I love that we have kind of this like ending where it's like, you're in your neighborhood and you're happy and promoting things and doing the things you love with the people that you love. We've got costume changes. We've got like, how do I forget the bachelorette portion? Like you're getting married soon and your husband meets you. I mean, like it is such a good story of just running around in Brooklyn and Queens with your buds.
Yep.
I love it. It's so good. And the like, we're breaking up. I mean, you really had me at the beginning. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck happened on this bachelorette party? It was all staged.
It was all staged.
I expected nothing less from you. This is just so perfect. All right. I got to ask you the last question of the show. I don't have anything else to say about how great this story is. What's your favorite thing about New York?
I mean, honestly, I've thought a lot about this because I knew you were going to ask me. And I know we talked about it a little bit, but selfishly, I feel like New York, for me, my favorite thing about it is that I can be myself here. You know, that I really found who I was here. And I know a lot of people probably experience that too, but like just the amount of different opportunities there are, and, you know, not just job opportunities, but just like opportunities to experience art and culture and nature. And, you know, you're always finding something else. Also always finding out more things about yourself and testing your limits and, you know, learning like who you are like through this city, because, you know, I feel like I came here really lost. This is the best place to be lost because you're just going to keep getting lost and you're going to find yourself in the process.
Hell yes. I love this answer. I mean, people, are you listening to this? This is who you, like, I'm being serious right now. Like, this is who you should be supporting. You found who you were. And I love that you're saying that, like, New York afforded that to you. And I know we sort of touched on it in the beginning, but like, yeah, this is a great thing to have be your favorite thing about New York. You can be yourself. You can get lost. All of these things can come to fruition for you. If you're hearing this, go see a show at the Footlight, go support emerging artists, go support someone who is helping emerging artists be themselves and find themselves. Keep the circle and the continuation going. I will see you at the Windjammer one night. The audience, I'll see the audience at the Windjammer one night. And probably you. I'll run into you sometime.
Yeah, I'm there a lot.
Yes, I can imagine. I don't know how I haven't run into you yet all the other times I'm there. Laura, truly, thank you for giving a space to artists in New York City. It's so important to me. Thank you for being on my show, for telling that wildly ridiculous, super fun story. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. This was such a fun conversation.
Most of all, thanks, New York. They had fun.